This entire deck tells one of the most emotional stories in One Piece. Alright, welcome to the channel. My name is Jose. This is AcreageTCG. We've got a special treat today. This is ST30, the Luffy Ace Starter Deck EX for the One Piece card game. And before we crack it open, I want to tell you a little something about this deck. This entire deck tells one of the most emotional stories in One Piece. Every single character in here was part of one of the most chaotic prison breaks in the whole series. This starter deck is red and green. So the Luffy is in green and the Ace is in red. Red and green is a pretty rare combo for a starter deck. Red is aggression, rush attacks, and immediate pressure. And green is control, locking down your opponent's board and resource management. Together they make something that plays unlike most of the decks you've seen. And this is actually the very first starter deck that is red and green, so there hasn't been one yet. So let's open it up and see what we got. Now, here's just a quick tip. These starter decks, they always just come with just basically two pieces of tape. One here on the left and one here on the right. So just keep that in mind. If you see that, it's not because it's resealed or anything. That's just how they come. In this box, we've got the 50 card deck, a leader card, 10 Dawn cards, a play sheet, and a bonus pack. Let's open this up. Now, every single time I've opened one of these starter packs, this always rips here. So, oh, look at that. We got lucky. All right. Very cool. I'll take that. Let's see. We've got the box just opens up just like this, and on the inside we've got our brick here, and the brick is basically all the cards in one neat little stack here. And then we've got the bonus pack. We're going to save this for later, so stay tuned. Every single starter deck comes with this kind of like instruction sheet. It's just a little explainer here about how to play the game, the rules, game essentials, and on the other side, we've got a playmat. Every single starter deck comes with this kind of brick in this pack right here. So let's go ahead and open that up, and then we'll see what we got. Sometimes this can be a little hard to open. All right, there we go. And here's a tip. To open these, all you got to do is, there's a little tab right here. You just slide it over, and there we go. All right, so we've got a close-up right here. And, you know, I got to tell you, Bandai absolutely makes the most beautiful cards out there. We've got the leader and then the rest of the deck. So, as we said, this is an EX deck. We've got the foil Dawn. Looks pretty cool. You know, the regular Dawn is just white paper. These are like silver reflective. And, hey, guess what? We've got our mat right here. Let's put the Dawn where it goes. There we go. Let's start with our leader. So, we've got Luffy and Ace. Now, this is a 4 life leader, which means you're going to have to protect your life. It is 6,000 power. If you have a leader with 7,000 base power or more, give this leader minus 2,000 power. So the whole point of this deck is you don't want to run anything over 7,000 power. You want to be right at 6,000. Now, here's the cool part about that. On opponent's turn, all of your Portuguese the Ace and Monkey D. Luffy cards gain 3,000 power. Any of your big attackers, you run Monkey D. Luffy or you run Ace, you're going to have 3,000 power additional. That being said, the leader over here where he belongs on the mat, let's take a look at the first card here in the set. We've got Ace. So this is a secret rare, and we can see the foiling on there. It's very cool. Like I said, Bandai makes the best cards. This is, of course, a 4 cost, 6,000 power character. And on play, you may rest one of your Dawn cards. This character gains rush during this turn. And when attacking, give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. So this is very powerful because you can rush, you can attack basically on the same turn that you play. Characters without rush have to wait until the next turn for them to attack. Our next card is Monkey D. Luffy. So these are the two main characters of this deck. And Luffy's card says, on play, you may rest one of your Dawn cards. This character gains rush during this turn. And when attacking, rest up to one of your opponent's blocker characters. So that's super strong, because basically you can attack the same turn you play and you can rest a blocker. This allows you to get through a blocker in order to attack life. And once again, we got a beautiful card there. Super cool. He's like using his ability there. Next card on the list is Inazuma. One thing you're going to make note of, most of these characters are Impel Down. So Inazuma is a 1,000 counter, 1 cost, 2,000 power, 1,000 counter, and this is the searcher. So this lets you search for your cards. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 card with 6,000 power, and add it to your hand. then place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. So here's the trick with this. You're going to want to run as many 6,000 power cards as you can. This is a special searcher that lets you find any 6,000 power card. Our next card is Edward Newgate. And so Newgate here, you get 4 of these. So far we've only had 2 of these. You now get 4 of these, so you get a full playset. And he's an 8 cost, 6,000 power with 1,000 counter. All of your characters with 6,000 base power gain 1,000 power. So basically, he buffs everybody that has 6,000 power. This is an 8 Don character, so he's a late game character, but any of your characters out in the field, they're going to get buffed by this guy. We've got 2 of Emporio Ivankov. Their on play is you may reveal 2 character cards with 6,000 power from your hand, and then draw 3 cards, trash 2 cards from your hand. Being able to search your deck in order to pull whatever cards you need or get rid of cards that you don't need, that's super useful. This is one of the best cards in this deck because you can basically mill for what you need. You get 2 of these. Now we've got Jozu. So this is just a basic character. There's no on-play abilities or anything like that. And he's a 5 cost, 6,000 power. And then we've got Jinbe. He's a 5 cost, 6,000 power. You're going to see just about everybody here. Any of your big attackers are going to be 6,000 power. And their on play is you may trash 1 character card with 6,000 power from your hand, draw 2 cards. Again, super powerful, being able to draw cards, one of the most useful things in the game. We've got 5 cost, 6,000 power Marco. He's a blocker, which lets you redirect any attack to him. On KO, you may trash 1 character card with 6,000 power from your hand. Play this character card from your trash rested. So basically, you can use Marco to block a big attack. He gets KO'd. You trash another character that you don't need, like this Jozu maybe, and then you get to play him back. Now, he does come back rested, but if he survives into the next turn, you can reuse him again as another blocker. We've got Little Oars Jr., and he's 1 cost, 2,000 power, so he's one of your weaker cards. He's also a 1,000 counter, and if your character with 6,000 base power would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may trash this character and draw 1 card instead. Being able to protect your cards from removal is extremely powerful because there's a lot of decks out there that basically specialize in removing your characters without even having a battle. So you want to keep him in order to save those characters. All right, we've got Buggy here. He's a green, 2 cost, 1,000 power with a 1,000 counter. If your character with 6,000 base power would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may rest this character instead. And he's a blocker. You save somebody from being removed, you rest him, you do lose the blocker by resting, but you do save somebody else. So it's kind of a trade-off. Our next card is Crocodile. He's a 6 cost, 6,000 power with a 1,000 counter. Crocodile is a blocker, and his on-play is up to 1 of your opponent's rested characters will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. That is super powerful because you get to freeze an opponent's character. So somebody takes a swing at your life or one of your characters, their character's rested, you play Crocodile, and in the next turn, that character won't restand. Mr. Tuban Curry. And so he's just a regular character. There's no special ability or anything. He's a 1k counter, 4 cost, 6,000 power. So these 6,000 power cards that don't have any kind of ability or anything, these are the cards that you want to kind of trash when you are using your Marco ability. So you want to keep those in order to trash them. Finally, we've got 2 Mr. 3s. And his activate main is you may rest this character, give up to 2 of your characters with 6,000 base power, up to 2 rested Dawn cards each. So this lets you power up any of your 6k characters to 8k every time you activate his main. You do have to rest him, so you open him up to attack, but you do give an extra 2,000 power to any of your 6k power characters. The name of this era is Whitebeard. And it's a 1 cost counter. If you have 2 or more characters with 6,000 base power, up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains 4,000 power during this turn. And the trigger is KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. We've got 2 of these Can You Still Fight Luffy? Of course. Now this is again 1 cost counter. Up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains 3,000 power during this battle. Then, if you have Luffy Ace or Monkey D. Luffy characters with 6,000 base power, draw 1 card. Last event, and you get yourself in big trouble. This is a 1 cost main event, so you use this during regular play, not as a counter when you're defending. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to one character card with 6,000 power, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This card is a searcher. So you use this with Inazuma, and you can search for any of these other 6K characters, which is basically what this entire deck is revolving around. Here's something cool about all of these cards. They are all related to the Impel Down storyline. That's what this deck is. It's not just cards, it's Luffy fighting for his brother, fighting to save his brother, to save his life. An army of all these crazy characters who at one point or another fought each other or hated each other, but they're all working together to get out and save each other, basically. And that's kind of one of the beautiful things about One Piece, is that there's all sorts of different characters, but at the end of the day, they're all pirates, and even though they might have their problems, they still find a way to work together, and I think that's kind of a neat lesson. Let's go ahead and open up the bonus pack. Let's see what we got. All right, we've got an alternate art Jinbe. Beautiful, beautiful card. There's like this cool texturing up here. Very nice. Again, 1000 counter. Full art all the way around. That's beautiful. All right, our next card is, the name of this era is Whitebeard. Again, let's compare it to the original. There's texture all over the card. The color wheel here is kind of raised. It's very cool. We've got the star for the alternate art. Very nice. And finally, let's see what we got here. Oh, all right, it's Emporio Ivankov. Very cool. All right, let's see how it compares to the original. We've got a full art card with texturing all along here. You can see the little crown that he's wearing right there is it's got some pretty cool texturing there. Very nice. The red over here is like a foil. We've got the little star for alternate art. And again, we've got the little stamp down here. Oops, sorry. We've got the little stamp down here that says One Piece, which is not in the regular card. Very nice. Okay, so we've got some pretty cool pulls here. We didn't get the Luffy and Ace one, but that's alright, maybe next time. So, that's ST30, a red-green 6000 power mid-range deck that also, if you know the story, is one of the most emotional arcs in all of anime. Luffy running through to save his brother, Mr. 2 staying behind, and Whitebeard mobilizing an entire war fleet just for one person. This deck plays like the arc feels. Chaotic, aggressive, everyone fighting for something together. This deck released today, so I hope you were able to find one. This is a great entry point for new players because it's usually red, green. It's not too difficult. The mechanics are just basically just fight. So this is a perfect way to get started. And if this breakdown helped, please like, subscribe. One small click from you means the world to us. We're going to do a deep dive on every new ST that comes up. And our next video is going to be what cards can you look for outside of this to upgrade this deck. Stay tuned for that. And if you stayed till the end, you're a real one. Thank you. We love you. And leave us a comment. What's your favorite card in this deck? Thanks a lot. See you next time.